Bitsy Stern to please come up to the podium.
So before I start, I want to acknowledge some of these unsung heroes. In fact, we should applaud them, for the fact that they're not getting up to speak, but more than that, for their impact that's really felt on a daily basis, not only during the 3 heavy summer months, but during the rest of the year as well. First, our coordinators, Yonki Malik, Needle Fight, Ellie Surabrowski. Some of you know who they are, some of you may not have heard of them. They orchestrate the efforts up here all year long, and during the summer, 24 hours a day, so that we have a seamless operation. They are the unsung heroes that when someone calls Hatzalah, we respond swiftly and effectively. Our liaisons, you heard Simcha and Joel Gold, are bridges to the wider community. They build the relationships we have, the trust, and ensure that Hatzalah is not just a service, but a lifeline. Their work behind the scenes is invaluable. Last but not least is our veteran coordinator, Bernie Gibbs. With decades of service,
At 10:37 hours in the morning of August 22nd, 2024, the Sullivan County 911 Center received a call for an unconscious male. 1 minute later, at 10:38, the New York State Police were en route. EMS had been dispatched. Dispatcher Chris Kelly from the 911 Center confirmed via the caller that the patient was in fact not breathing and proceeded to provide CPR instructions. At 10:49, New York State Trooper Kevin Lepardo arrived on scene and began immediate assessment of the patient, quickly deploying an AED and delivered a series of successive shocks. At 10:51, realizing the critical nature of the call, Trooper Lepardo requested an ETA on EMS. Determining that the ETA for EMS had been extended, dispatcher Chris Kelly identified the need for closer care and dispatched Hatzalah, who responded immediately and arrived on scene within fewer than 5 minutes. Here's a quick timeline. 10:53, Trooper Lepardo delivered the first shock via AED to the patient. 10:55, Trooper Lepardo delivered the second shock, and again, CPR was continued. At 10:56, Hatzalah arrived on scene with 3 EMTs, 2 paramedics, and an agency coordinator, who all joined in the fight to save this man's life. At 11:02, Trooper Lepardo delivered the third and final shock, while Hatzalah continued to provide life-saving emergency medical interventions. For the next 27 minutes, the trooper and the crew from Hatzalah worked feverishly to save this gentleman from certain death. Eventually, he was transported to Harris Hospital, where he eventually regained consciousness and was just discharged a few weeks later.
I'd like to have the honor to call up the Superintendent of New York State Police, Mr. James, to come Catskills Hatzalah with the Executive Board and my fellow coordinators. I'd like to show you our liaisons, Joel and Simcha, that they always say your phone is always open to everybody in the community, specifically the Jewish community. In times ago now, right now, I never met you personally, but heard a lot. So personally, on behalf of the people who live here around, including myself, I have a summer house up there. I want to say thank you to keep them safe. Thank you.
Rest assured that the state police will continue to show up, to be here, part of the community as abroad. I look specifically, I will give you a shout out and call them out. Back 17 years ago, when I was a mere lieutenant in the state police, I then met Joel Gold, and shortly thereafter that, Simcha. And we've always connected, we've always related and known that it's about community. Certainly do more together than we can apart. So with regard to Hatzalah, Catskill, New York, and abroad, I'm certain that this is the model that can be replicated throughout the country, just not New York. I had the opportunity to look in the dispatcher center and meet with the members working there and to discuss the minimal response time. Obviously, you are all the first line of defense for the community and abroad. So I say congratulations to all of you, and I thank you for what you've done to help us collectively succeed. Thank you for the award, not just on my behalf, but for all of the members of the state police. I thank you.
Good evening, folks. I'm Assistant Chief Woodridge, Eric Ackerley. My son Nolan Ackerley is the chief. On behalf of our members and our line officers, we worked very closely with Catskills Hatzalah. They met a milestone. They began their footprint in 1984. 2024, that calculates 4 years, which is a big feat for Catskills Hatzalah. I just want to thank them for working so closely with us and the other fire departments in the town of Fallsburg. So I present the award on behalf of...
My name is Adil Kalish. I have the honor to serve as the CEO of Catskills Hatzalah. Rich Wiley is here. So why is that special to Mr. Brommer that Rich Wiley's here? Because there was a call on the 84. A school bus got into an accident. And Mr. Wiley was on the scene when the accident took place, and a 14-year-old girl was severely hurt, to the point that her life was at stake. Mr. Brommer, who is one of our medics in New York, and very involved in the Catskills Hatzalah, one of the more active Williamsburg medics we have in the system, he came running because he heard that a school bus and a child had been hurt, and he brought his equipment and he met Mr. Wiley on the scene. And together, they worked, as we have heard so many times this evening, together as one, until the young lady was capable of being transported and airlifted by LifeNet, who I believe is here tonight. And I want to share with you, Mr. Brommer said to me, that it's important to share with everyone here that 2 weeks ago, this young lady went home.
I'd just like to thank Hatzalah for their 40 years of dedicated service to the Catskills.
Good evening, everyone. I heard that. I first want to thank all of you, because we are truly a community. And more importantly, everyone that's in this room, at one point or the other, raise their hand to serve their community. And look at all the different agencies we have here today, representatives, and how important that partnership is.